Hello everyone, welcome to Xeon Remnants channel. My name is Raven, and welcome to episode 4 of the Destiny Machinima podcast. As always, joining with me, I have Tempest here.
Hey, I'm Tempest. I'm the creator of Rift and From the Ashes.
We have Daddy Digital.
Hi, I'm Digital Curse. I'm creator of Fireteam Weasel, and I'm a full-time asshole.
Off screen, we have Moral Dilemma.
Hi, I'm Sport. I'm the co-writer and co-creator from the Ashes.
And down this way, we have Mama Senpai.
Hi, I'm Soundwave Senpai. I own and run the Destiny Machinima Discord, and I also voice act Erica on Fireteam Weasel.
Yeah, that show. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about Forsaken, of course, because it just came out. We're also going to be talking about some DMU things that people have been asking. And also people on Discord sent us some questions to answer. They're really good questions. I'm really grateful that we have such thoughtful questions today. So it's pretty cool. And that's one of the cool things that you guys can do. If you want to be a part of the Destiny Machinima universe, we encourage you all to join the Discord. This way you can be in stuff like this, ask us questions, play Destiny with us, whatever. And if you're on PS4, you need to join right now. Because I need people on PS4 because everyone else on fucking Xbox!
Xbox is the king.
Xbox is trash! Trash.
Oh, we're trash with our
You can't
legions
be
of
all
body
wrong.
actors.
It's actually PC.
Our legion
but,
of body actors.
That's because you were already on Xbox, so that's why you have body actors. If you were on PS4, then we would have PS4 body actors. See how that works?
I believe it.
Alright. So anyway, first thing we're gonna do is we have to talk about Forsaken. It just came out, a couple days ago, and in my opinion, the best thing that's happened to D2 since its release, and definitely a shot in the arm that D2 needed because it was like on life support at this point. So we're gonna talk about that. So my first question for everybody, I guess let's start on the bad note, end on the high note. What's the thing you like least about Forsaken?
For me, when you're trying to get something from a collection from year 2 and because of random rolls, I really prefer if they did it like fixed rolls to get that certain if you just want to get it. But obviously you have to keep it in your vaults. That's the only thing. You have like slots in your vault, but it'll be nice to collect it as you want. But that's the only thing I don't like at the moment.
It's gonna be kind of unpopular, but my least favorite thing had to do with the campaign is the fact that they brought our characters' voices back, but we only had 2 lines. Now, at least in D1, we had maybe 5, 6, even let's say 6 lines. So I don't understand. There was moments where we could have actually spoke. If we're gonna get our voices back, we should have been able to at least hear it more often. I'm hoping in these next DLCs that they allow us to speak, over the comms or something. I don't ask for much.
The fact that we had the hype and the excitement built up of actually hearing characters talk again for the first time in over 4 years consistently, and it's 2 lines, and I'm like, that's it.
Trash.
It was kind of disappointing, yeah. Could have said something at the end, but no, it's 2 whole lines. That was a little disappointing.
What about you? What about you, Morrow? What do you not like about Forsaken?
My biggest thing was, the character voice. At least we talked, which is cool.
Yeah.
But it could have been more. And then also, this is more of just a gripe, but we didn't get an exotic at the end of the campaign.
Yeah, I would like to.
I think the closest was Ace of Spades, but we still have to do more.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think
that didn't bother me too much. The thing I dislike most
it's
about
not too bad.
Forsaken right now is the fact that every time you want to infuse something, you have to use Masterwork cores.
Oh,
And they're so hard to come by right now. And it's like you can buy them from Spider, but when you buy them on the same day, they double in price. Like, what?
Yeah.
So
I'll buy like 3 at a time, but...
yeah, exactly. And then like randomly you might get that consumable where a Masterwork core will drop if you kill a boss, but it's 1 core. And you need what? Like certain weapons, like you need at least 2 or 3.
It goes up to like 4 and some...
Yeah.
Did was I deleted everything in my vault that had Masterwork because I could get it again. And Masterworks for year 1 items suck anyways. That's how I got some more.
Yeah, I saved mine from season 3. Like, thank God I did that, but it shouldn't be an issue like that anyway.
I feel like there should be more like if you use a consumable or something, or there should be an easier way to get them.
I
That
feel
doesn't
bad.
that doesn't double every time you like want to buy it. This is kind of BS. Like if it's 10 legendary shards, to be 10 legendary shards. Like if I need 10, then I spend 100 shards.
Like there needs to be a
for
currency
some people.
rebalancing a little bit.
I think they addressed it already. So maybe I don't know if it's going to be this update for the raid or the next one, but they have talked about it already, so it might change.
That's good.
But that's like my
Okay.
only gripe with it. We'll get into like right now the things we like the most about the Forsaken, which my favorite thing was the campaign. Honestly, it was the best. Clearly, it was the best campaign in D2. And while it was still like the standard 3 story missions, you had those separate, 6 or 7 other missions where you're hunting down the barons, which like one made it longer, and then also all those boss fights were way different from each other, and they had like little quirks, and like the Mindbender one has a secret chest that you can get, and even there's a secret chest for the trickster, but it gives you like nothing, which is kind of messed up, but it makes sense.
Oh, it's the trickster.
But
It's a trickster, yeah.
yeah, like I really liked the campaign. That I was like enjoying the campaign so much. Like, oh, this is so good. Like finally something like that's substantial and not just like here 3 missions. Okay, bam, 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 you're done. It's like okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you guys? What you like so far about Forsaken?
I like Gambit. Gambit's really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the fire team though.
With the fire team, and it wasn't so fun when I was trying to get Ace of Spades. But now that
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
worry about those seeking hand cannon kills, my God, shoot me. But, yeah, Ace of Spades is, Gambit is like amazing. It's real fun. It's really
Yeah.
like nail biting, especially when it's like real close.
Yeah,
That was an awesome mission.
I think there's 2
Oh,
favorites first, but the first favorite I like is the bow and arrow. I think that's now my new favorite weapon. I've never been so good with a weapon. And my second favorite thing is pretty much the mysterious way of introducing the Dreaming City. As soon as you go in there, it's
there's
like
so much stuff. Like
so
it's
much
crazy.
stuff. They don't tell you how to get these things. You have to figure out everything on your own.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. It's all full of lore. There's secrets. You gotta find it yourself, and that's like the fun thing I like what they do in Bungie. They keep things so mysteriously.
Yeah.
And now the raid coming out next week.
It's kind of like how the Dreadnought was in Taken King. I was like all these like chests and how do you get the chest and all this stuff and like all these secrets and like pulling your ghost out to show the bridges to jump on and all this stuff. But it's like the next level where it's just like that plus like a jillion other things. Like there's even like random events that come up that aren't on the map. Like there'll be like Taken Blights that spawn. You kill the boss, you have a chance of getting certain weapons and stuff like that. And like the Ascendant and what that does and being able to find secret chests. And then you have the Ascendant Challenge, and then you have the Will, and the raid's gonna come. So it's just like it's crazy how much stuff there is.
There's still things that we haven't discovered yet. There's a new strike apparently. People have just recently discovered a new vendor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's a vendor underneath the offering place that you can trade in materials to get queen foil tinctures.
Do you know a Tempest?
I do?
the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skulls. I think they're Ahamkara skulls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else? So Morrow, what about you? What do you like about Forsaken?
The Dreaming City is my favorite thing ever, and anything Destiny related. It's so pretty. It's so.
It
Pretty.
is. It is really beautiful.
And then the campaign I really liked too. I can't talk. When I finished the campaign, I wasn't feeling like empty or stuff. It felt like a good, wholesome campaign.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Warmind left me empty, and Osiris left me just like hating the game.
Osiris was trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Warmind was
Semi-okay.
it was all right.
Yeah.
What
They
about
added
you?
escalation, which was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had escalation. That
Now that I'm like 500, I want to like just solo escalation or something, or like 3-man escalation, and I have to have a 9-person fire team or whatever.
Yeah.
What about Soundwave? What do you like about
I
Forsaken?
really like how the storyline, it feels like it kind of completely changes direction as it goes on, where you have this one goal, but then by the end it feels like it's kind of picking up where Taken King left off, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so much more that we don't know that Taken King left that we never really got to find out, but this is kind of picking up on that. So there's so much more that we have to explore and find out. And the Dreaming City, I'm in love. You run around with the crossbow, it feels like you're in Lord of the Rings or Skyrim with the music and stuff. And I'm like, am I still playing Destiny or am I playing Skyrim? I don't get it. It's so much fun. Like, the Dreaming City won
It made me
over.
think of Warframe, because Warframe always had crossbows in it, so it's kind of like...
And just the music is so on par, and the setting, and I think the Dreaming City is such a great space. I'm so excited to jump in. It is, as it was said earlier, like being on the Dreadnought all over again. There's so much to explore and figure out, and even when we figure stuff out, you're going to want to keep going back to that space to give you activities that are grindable. So it's exciting.
Yeah, no, I agree with everyone's points. I mean, I was really hoping that that this was going to be like the thing that kind of brought the thing that we all wanted D2 to be, and finally a year later it's like, yes, exactly. Like my it's funny because like I think about D2 and I think about my dad. My dad's always like, if his dad used to say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And my thing is that D1 spent 3 years like perfecting this game, and then when D2 came out, they just changed all of it. And I'm like, why would you do that? You had all this, you like built up this entire, you knew what we wanted, and then in D2 you like tried to change it. It's like, you spent all this time perfecting it. Why change it now? Now it's like with this, they're like bringing it back to D1 basically, because it just makes sense. I mean, there were things in D2 that never made sense to me, like, and let's talk about this real quick. When D2 came out, what were the things that like they changed that you were just like so like confused about? Like for me, it was like, okay, now for all melees, you have like for shoulder charge and things like that, you have a charger now, so you can't shoulder charge spam like you used to do in D1. But now it doesn't kill anyone in Crucible, so I'm waiting to get this shoulder charge longer than what it was in D1, and it does nothing. And my grenades do nothing. So like they kind of like, it made me feel like super underwhelming, because like you're this guardian and you have all these space magic powers and you use them in PvP, and it's like, boop. It's like, what the hell was that? It's like sticky grenade somebody, blah blah blah, peep, bang bang, they kill you. It's like, what is this? And especially like I said, especially like for Titans, like the shoulder charge, like now you have to wait to get it, and you use it, it does nothing. Now, finally, you're getting kills with it again, and it makes sense because now you can't spam it in D1, so now it should get a kill because of the fact that you can't spam it, but they just stripped the power away from it. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. What do you got? What were things that
the one-hit shoulder charge with this DLC?
They did. That's what I'm saying. Now most charged melees are one hit, or at least they do way more damage than what they were doing in vanilla D2, which, like I said, makes sense because if you're waiting longer, you should get a better reward than what it was in D1. But anyway, what about you guys? What was the things that in D2 that they changed when it first came out that you guys were just like, why would you do that? Why would you change this?
The shader system, I did not understand.
Yeah, I know.
Hallelujah.
My armor in Forsaken looks like trash because I don't want to put shaders on each of my separate armors, and then when I get new armors, like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I do know what they did is they made it good, but they didn't make it good enough. Like, you can put shaders on your weapons now. We couldn't do that anymore. But the fact that it's a consumable means you have to really...
You have to be picky.
You have to be picky on what you want.
Yeah.
And what they did with collections and Forsaken kind of alleviated that problem. You can just buy back the shader that you need.
Oh, you can? I didn't even know this. I haven't. Oh, okay, cool.
If you have trial shaders, but you never did trials except for once, now you can go and buy how many trial shaders that you want.
Oh.
Thank God.
Thank
God.
Like,
Oh my word! I learned
learned
something. I didn't even know that. I didn't know shaders was added to collections. That's awesome.
Same with Emblem.
It's
same
under
with
Flare.
Ghosts,
Under Flare.
Sparrows, ships. Even the old,
So it was
even like
horrible
from, like,
in
vanilla.
LED 1, but it was okay now. It's okay now. I like it.
What,
Anyone else?
what about you? Everyone else? What about digital? What did you not like about D2 that they changed from D1?
I think the weapon slots, like it was back then 2 primaries, because I used to love having a sniper or shotgun on the secondary, and then they changed it because they want to fit more fair for the casuals. And that's the thing, see, they've focused all these changes to be more casual, but at the end of the day, what made the SD1 great was it was really hardcore.
So
Play.
it's kind of like, and I feel like a lot of companies are doing that now. They're trying to cater to like this super broad audience, and then they're losing the thing that's like special about it that the fans like. It's like Star Wars, right? Like the last couple, like Last Jedi. We'll just say real quick, they whatever. That movie was not for the fans. Put it that way. That's my opinion. And so it's the same thing with Destiny. It's like D2 came out and they're like, oh, we want to make it for all the casual players. It's like D1 already had, like, it was like the most bought game on release in the history of video gaming. You already have this huge player base. So people are there. Like, why are you trying to? Yeah, I know, but then you're gonna lose everyone else. So it's like, in my opinion, it's like if the fans are the ones that are like, for example, grinding out achievements to buy a shirt, just to get the chance to buy a special shirt, then you need to, like, make the game for those people, Like, yeah, you make a little bit of changes here, but when you completely change the game on its head, that, I don't know whose idea that was, it just wasn't a good idea at all. But,
Another one I really don't like back then was the way they did Eververse, especially with the Dawning event. I did not get a piece of armor from that, and I really wanted the piece of armor. No, because the RNG was so bad, and you always get duplicates.
That was before they added like the little section where you could buy like certain stuff each week.
No, in Crimson and the Future, what it did was, they had a lockout system. So when you get one thing, you're never going to get it again until you get everything, and then they do duplicates.
Mm-hmm.
So you're guaranteed to get everything, depending on how many Crimson Engrams you got, and that's what's it been with Swords of Heroes, and now with Forsaken. You're always going to get something new, especially with the Prismatic Matrix, which I like. But back during Osiris and Dawning, especially Dawning, you only allowed three engrams per week for free. The rest you have to pay, and even then, you're not guaranteed what you want.
Oh, wow.
Someone did the math with the Dawning engrams, and it came out, if you bought everything, it would be like $600.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I won't say how much I spent just to get my Titan armor. I was bad. It wasn't good. I'm like, I'm going to get it. And I ate ramen for a week. I was not impressed with myself or that event at all.
I make bad decisions.
I made a lot of bad decisions. I'm an adult. I kept buying. I'm a grown up.
All right. Let's see. So, anything else about Forsaken you guys want to comment on? Anyone have like a particular Baron that they liked? To fight? Yeah. Favorite Baron fight?
Mine was the Trickster. It was so amazing.
Yeah.
They took the heavy ammo against us. I went straight thinking, let me get this heavy ammo brick.
The exotic. That was the one that had exotic ammo bombs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those were cool too. Actually, that's how you get to the chest. You have to throw a bomb across. It blows up a door, and you blow up another door, and you push a button. It makes a little fallen ship spawn. You jump to it, but there's nothing in it. Like all that for nothing. It's just like glimmer and like 2 planetary materials, something like that.
Yeah.
At least the Mindbender one gave you like a cool emblem or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The bomber was my absolute favorite because he was such a twerp. Like he was such a dope. Like his comments, I'm like, he's like a villain. Like he's like one of those dopey villains pulled straight from an anime. That's just like you almost feel sympathetic for him, but in the course he's a bad guy. But he was so funny. I'm like, oh my god. Like, can we not kill him? Can we just make him our friend, take him home?
Yeah.
there's a certain game that reminds me with all this DLC and this Borderlands 2. It so reminds me of that game, especially with like the Scorn reminding me of Psychos, The Baron, especially the Mad Ball, reminds me of a villain from Borderlands 2. And I think my favorite is probably the Mindbender, because it's just a nostalgic thing to go back to that ship from the Dreadnought. And then you find out he has his own Ascendant Realm, which was like, oh, nice. And it just reminds me so much of the Taken King from Final Fallen.
It was pretty cool. What about you, Moro? Do you have a favorite Baron?
It was either the Trickster or the last Baron before the Fanatic.
Machinist?
Machinist?
Yeah, I like the Machinist too.
The Machinist was cool.
Yeah.
I liked building the tank to kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Machinist. I like the Machinist, and I actually liked Ryder, the one on the Pike. I don't know. I just thought it was cool to have like a Pike battle with a boss.
That reminded me of Mad Max a
That
lot.
was
The
cool.
Machinist strike, was it a strike or a mission? The Machinist mission had us build a tank, and it was basically, it took me back to Siva. What was that already called?
Wrath of the Machine.
Wrath of the Machine. Yeah, Siege Engine. That was
I love
fun.
Wrath of the Machine.
The Death Zamboni.
Death Zamboni.
That's Zamboni.
All right. Okay, so we talked about Forsaken. I think all of us sound like we're enjoying it. There's minor stupid things wrong with Forsaken, but for the most part, I think Bungie definitely got this one right. Definitely listen to the fans. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, but actually a couple YouTubers got hired by Bungie, which I think is awesome and really cool of them. I don't know. I forget particularly who.
Smiling Games is one.
Yeah, Smiling Games.
There's like three.
Patrick Casey. I mean,
did he? Okay, that's cool because he's always been super involved with the Destiny community.
He's finished his contract now, but he's back on YouTube. But he said
he's a harsh critic too. So
yeah, he is. Now, which I think is cool, and I think that definitely like helps connect like the fans with Bungie more, so that they know kind of what we want, which I think is cool. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the Destiny Machinima universe. We do have questions from viewers, but I wanted to kind of like update everybody on what the general idea is as to what we're doing. So as you guys have noticed at the end of From the Ashes and Fireteam Weasel and also Team Titan, the same group of characters keep showing up. So we just kind of wanted to kind of gloss over that without spoiling it. I guess, Digio, you want to kind of explain kind of roughly what's going on with these characters that we keep seeing?
Yeah. So these characters are definitely going to be a major part in all of the 3 series. We're not saying what their plan is or what they're doing or what role they're in, but it's something that you should take note of, and they're much more dangerous than any of the teams have faced.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, it's a lot bigger than it looks. It's not just the 3 of them.
Yeah. So they're part of a organization that we're not going to say the name yet. But as the series goes on, you're going to see other members that appear. So they're kind of like the NWO. And there'll be like people that are in that group that you're like, oh, I didn't know they were in that group. Or like they defect and go to that group kind of thing. So as the series goes on, more members of that organization will be revealed, and that is the entity that Fireteam Weasel, Team Titan, got the guys from From the Ashes and everything are going to fight, and that's going to be the enemy. Obviously, if you guys can tell, the Warlock with the stag helmet, he's the main one.
He's a big baddie.
We can say his name now, right? His real name? Just his regular name or no?
Yeah, it's going to be teased in Season 3 anyway, so you might as well say it.
Okay. Well, his name is Reagan, and so he is the leader. And then we've been seeing Jericho and Doug. Those are the other 2, right? The Titan and the Hunter.
Yeah. You'll get to see more of these in Season 3, like the names and more.
I'll spoil a bit From the Ashes. I will say that is working with them as well. So I'll spoil just a little bit.
Okay. Let me know if I need to cut that out of this podcast. He regrets it later. I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, so that's an update, and we did put out a poll on the Discord server whether you guys wanted to see the crossover special as a long movie on someone's channel or as a 3-part that rotates. Well, not as a rotate. A 3-parter that each part will be on our respective channels. So like part 1 would be on Digitals or something, part 2 would be on Tempest, part 3 would be on mine, whatever the case is. Or if you just want it to be one long 2-hour thing or however long it's going to be on one particular person's channel. So that pulls up, and hopefully you guys give us input. This way we kind of get a good idea how we're going to do that. But anyways, speaking of your guys' input, I asked today on the Discord some questions. I asked 4 questions, and I got a lot of good stuff today. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to ask the questions and tell you guys who asked it, and then I'll put a little snippet in the middle of the chat so everyone can be remembered what that question was. So, from Attack Boss, who, if you guys don't know, Attack Boss is a machinima body actor for Team Titan, and he also voices Falcon's ghost, Newt. He replaced the old body actor who like dropped off the face of the earth. He asked, which characters do you feel could have the most confrontational dynamic? Like, who would want to fight who? Mine is Raven versus everyone, so that's easy. Like, there's no one that Raven won't fight. She just do one thing to piss her off, and she's like, "I'm gonna kill you." But what do you guys think? What would be a good like and it could be like between shows, like who would have a good confrontational dynamic against each other?
I think Scott will probably want to fuck all the girls.
Yeah, you should definitely try that with Raven.
If he had chicken nuggets.
Try with Raven.
I think he'll get something.
It'll get really
it's
gonna get really sexual with that load of wolves she carries around. That's what's gonna be.
I think the confrontation between Falcon and Autumn will be very interesting because Autumn's already been on episode 6 and with Team Merc. But he hasn't really been with the actual Team Titan. I think with Falcon's way of being like, "Oh, you're being stupid," and his remarks with Autumn's remarks, I think they'll clash.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really interesting. But I think Autumn will win that one. And he's just like, "Oh, I say something idiotic to Falcon," which he's like, And he's like, "That's being stupid." Or something like more professional.
I think what I look most forward to is Erevan meeting Blue. It's gonna be like Iron Man meeting Peter Quill. It's just like the clash of personality. It'll be so amazing. And he's gonna go. Everyone's just gonna stare into space, just like Iron Man did. Just like, what am I doing here? But yeah. Besides, they're very similar, but they're also so different that I think the class of personalities will really mesh well.
You know, I was thinking like literally the same thing,
Yeah.
but I think Raven and Scully, because Scully's just so friendship, let's go make friends with Max, and Raven's like, no, serious business, and Scully's not about serious business when she's not into it, you know, she's so like free and fun, and Raven's not free and fun.
I think Raven would be the only one not like freaked out about Scully if she took off her helmet. She'd just be like,
oh.
Okay.
That's fun scene.
She'd probably say something like, "That's what's gonna happen to you if you fuck with me. I'll make your whole body a skeleton."
They're bringing back Festival of the Lost. Let's hope they bring back that helmet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Or something even better.
And about moral support, any character confrontations you'd like to see?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
Thanks for contributing. All right. You had like 5 minutes while we were fucking around. He's probably playing Destiny too.
I would say like Yuki and maybe
Yuki and Autumn, maybe.
Well, yeah, I would say maybe Yuki and Rachel probably, or maybe Scott and
I think they would
Yuki.
get along pretty well. I don't know.
I would like to see like in like since obviously Sparky died, but like
Oh.
I would like to see like before Sparky died, like Buck and Scully argue over Sparky, since Buck met Sparky at the end of the episode and he called him Sparkles. So it'd be funny if they were like arguing, "His name is Sparkles! It's Sparky! Sparkles!"
But yeah, an interaction that I would like to see.
Oh, okay.
Tempest actually came up with it.
What?
It was Gareth, Sarge, and Storm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, let's see Sarge with other people that he's trained or something like that.
Yeah. Me Digital
Yeah,
came
the
up
other
a few weeks ago, and then I told more about it. And I honestly forgot about it, but that would be a fun little thing, little Easter egg. They were trained by him. See, everything's connected. Oh my god.
Full circle.
Full circle. Everything is connected. Hashtag.
The circle of Destiny Machinima.
Trademark that. Quickly.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Right now.
Yeah. All right. So a curse guard asked, because the DMU exists, do you guys gather around and talk about your ideas of your machinima before making episodes? Seeing as they're in the same universe, if like a major character dies, will he die off in other machinimas too? Well, the last part, if someone dies, they're dead. Unless they're in a different timeline before he died or she died, then that's different. But if a character's dead, they're dead.
Yeah, a perfect example is Fail. Like, he died in Fireteam Weasel, but Team Time is set before Fireteam Weasel, so
Exactly.
that's why he's there.
Yeah. So when a character dies, they're dead, unless we use the Dragon Balls and not come back. So do we talk about our ideas before making episodes? We like to let each other know what we're doing. We all have a shared template on Google Docs where we can see the timeline of what everyone's doing. So yes, we've already talked about it, and if something major happens or if we need something specific, then yeah, we let each other know so that we don't do the same thing or use the same armor or something like that.
I talk more to Digital because he's on Xbox Master Race, by the way.
Trash.
And it's a little easier because, I see him almost every day, and we can say, okay, he's doing this one day.
Damn, if only we had ways to communicate with each other like Discord and Skype or something like that. Oh my god, we do! And YouTube!
I do talk to Xeon regularly now with Discord, so that's been a really big help, but still be nice if you had Xbox anyway, to see you in game.
I might get an Xbox. I probably will at some point. I don't know when, but I'll probably get
Go
it.
on shop and buy one.
One of us.
One. All right. A curse also asked, does the story basically he's asking, will the story campaign of D2 impact any of the machinimas?
It's very impactful on mine. I'm basically following the storyline, but separately.
Yep.
After that, though, I don't have any inclination of actually, joining the story. Like after Osiris, I'm done.
Yeah, with Season 3 of Fighting Weasel, it's definitely going to feature the Red War. I can't leave that out.
Yeah. For me, it did affect actually the storyline in a small way for Season 2, because one of the expansions messed up an idea that I had, which everyone had, and then they were like, nope, guess what, it's now this, and we were like, well, so that kind of messed me up. I can't say what it is now, because, that season finale of Season 1's not out yet, but if it was, I'd let you know, but since it's not, cliffhanger. But I mean, basically at this point, we're trying to avoid anything related to, like main characters and things like that. Like, I was going to have the speaker in a flashback of Team Titan. We decided just to not do that and do something else. So we're trying to avoid main characters and stuff like that in case they change them or anything. We have an Osiris issue. We have to retcon our story to fit in with Destiny as best as possible. But so yes, the story of D2 does always affect our shows because, I mean, while we are bending lore a little bit, if they completely change something outright, and it just doesn't make sense to continue with what we're doing. So yes, it does definitely affect us. Let's see. Okay, Queenie's son asks, piggybacking off a Curse Guard's question, how are you going to interpret the Forsaken story into the Destiny Machinima universe?
I think.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
In the future. Oh yeah, I definitely got something planned in the future of that. And that's a huge part in the future as well, for pretty much all of us as well.
Yeah, I believe we're all want to try and incorporate the Dreaming City. It's just an awesome place that'd be ashamed to waste it. And other than that, I don't know.
It's too early to tell yet.
Yeah, exactly.
This week.
I haven't. I know where my story is going, but right now, for me, I'm sure Dreaming City will factor in some way, but I just don't know how yet. But I know how my story is gonna end up. All right. So next question. Ken Coy says, this question is for all the creators. Have you guys decided how long you want to tell your stories? Like how many seasons? Or is this still up in the air and don't know when you want to end things? I can answer that real quick for Team Titan. For me, I'm doing story arcs. So the next 3 seasons of Team Titan, which are in D1, is one full story arc. And I have thought of future seasons, which will be in D2, and I don't know how long that story is going to take to resolve, if it's going to be another 3 seasons or less. After that, I don't know what's going to happen after that, but I do know that I have a certain story I want to tell in D1 that I can only tell in D1s. I can't even tell it in D2. And D2, I do have a general idea of what I want to do, and then after that, I don't know. I guess it depends on what happens with DMU and everything. What about you guys?
My plan is to be done by season 5, which will end in Osiris. Each season, if y'all don't know, From the Ashes is one planet. So I went to Earth, then Titan, I'm going to go to Io, Nessus, all that stuff. So I will end in Osiris, and I don't have any extra plans after the DMU, the final crossover we have. So what will happen is I will release my characters so you can continue to use them, if the voice actors agree to that. But I'll be done making it after that, so I will bow out. Because I got stuff coming up. I'll be going to law school. I'll be, I'm not intern now, so a lot of stuff is happening. So I plan on
For me, right now, we're working on something very much lot more in D2. I'm not sure I'm going to continue in D3. It depends on what's going to happen. I might make one more season D3, but I do want to end it eventually, but not as quick as Tempest wants to do it.
Yeah.
But at least I got a good couple of years left. I'm not sure if I'll make a new Machinima in the future. Maybe. I'm not sure. But I'd like to make something in D3. But who knows?
Okay. All right. Next question. Queenie.
I actually had something to add on to that one.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be starting my own little series, a bunch of one-shots, maybe 5 episodes each.
I'll be helping with that as well.
Yeah, he'll be helping with that because I am a complete and total noob to anything editing.
But I'll be a producer, but I'll be hands off after that.
Yeah.
Don't feel too bad because I hate episode 1 of Team Titan. It was the first episode I ever wrote. I hate it so much. I was talking to somebody I met while I was playing Destiny, and they're friends with Falcon, and so they started watching it. He was like, yeah, the beginning of episode 1 was so rough and just kind of janky, and I hate the very first 5 seconds of the episode. I hate it because as soon as you play the episode, you hear Bun go, I'm like, oh, that's such a horrible way to start the beginning episode of a show. Why would I do that? And no one said anything. Now that I watch it, I'm this is horrible. Why would I start the show this way? The first thing you hear, the first audio you hear is groaning and complaining. I'm like,
oh, so boring.
Yeah, but it's so loud too. He's like, oh man, no one said anything to me. That'll be getting changed soon. But anyway, okay.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of one-shots planned. They'll last 5 episodes each.
All right, cool. I look forward to seeing that. Look forward to critiquing it, tell them how trash it is. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh
It's
yeah,
part of the DMU as well. So
it is because the first one I have planned is a character in Rift, or not Rift, From the Ashes.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
That's all I'm gonna say though.
a spin-off.
Yeah, it's that one's gonna be a little spin-off. I've got other original ones planned. But yeah.
All right. Next question. Queenie's son asks again. Do you think there'll be any other relationships, even if they're more casual, besides Erica and Jacob's already established relationship? So any other romances, friendships that we don't know of?
I ship it. We have some ships. There are some ships.
Some ships?
Some ships.
The ship is sailing.
The ship sailing.
In Team Titan, I actually do have a a big plot point coming up regarding a relationship that a character has that you wouldn't think would be even capable of having a relationship, but they do. So it's pretty interesting.
The
And
War
then-
Mind and the Ghost, because that's an interesting one.
Yeah, sure, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I just agree with you and say that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, that is going to be explored, but that's there'll be something else unexpected that you guys will see. I think we've
Season 3, there will be a ship that did happen from a character you're not going to expect. So that's something to
Cool.
watch out about.
I like the keyword did.
Yeah, did. And I think Scott will definitely get something.
Yeah, he'll have some
Post
fun
Scott.
with the character. Finally. Finally.
Get him, Scott.
Um, I will say Gareth has found his angel in the EDZ. I don't know if anyone's know about that, but
I imagine everyone who's watched it knows who you're
everyone
talking
knows
about.
exactly who he's talking about.
It's probably Robin, isn't it?
He
'Cause they've always
found his
been together.
bird. He
It's
found
actually Bob.
his actual bird.
Probably Raven or
Like
something.
Like a legit bird.
He found
Lewis.
yeah, unfortunately, that question is kind of like spoiler-ish, so like we can only tease stuff. So sorry. Nice try though. Diamond Bro Gaming asks, if Autumn and Falcon had to face Fail and John, who would win?
I am on the side of Fail and John. So let's
Oh.
debate on this.
That's interesting. I don't know. It's funny because earlier Digital said that Autumn and Fail would be fighting each other, so I think that's the only reason why they would lose is because they would be arguing with each other.
If they can be on the same page.
I mean,
Golden Gun-
To be fair though, we never really seen Fail fight at all, so for all, for all,
Clever, though.
for all we
Clever.
know, he's a punk or something. All those lattes made him fat, and he can't tighten, he can't even get to a sprint to shoulder charge anymore.
He's the bad stick.
He was a bubble guy anyway, so he always sat around doing nothing anyway.
Exactly.
Bubble gut.
Trash.
Bubble gum.
He's trash. John has his army of the Taken.
Yeah.
So that's
This was kind of one of those weird things. I was like, that's an odd combination, but okay. Like,
It's a good combination.
answer that.
though. I mean,
you have the
I'm
two.
on Autumn and Falcon's side. They're crafty. Those two are crafty.
Yeah.
Individually,
yeah.
They're smart and they're crafty. And John and Fail are super egotistical, I think. And when you get egotistical and you think you can't be beaten,
Yeah.
Can.
you're not open to suggestions. Where if you're crafty, you're open to suggestions to change your situation. So I have to side with Falcon and Autumn.
Yeah, I think the one thing that Autumn and Falcon have in common is that they're very good at like goading people to do things that they normally shouldn't or wouldn't do. Like Falcon goading Slaker to, like get him into a shouting match where he gets distracted, then he shoulder charges him, or him goading Hawk into stabbing him, and then he gets him with the feedback fence, and then so Autumn is similar to that, where he's very good at like manipulating people so he gets an advantage. So I could see that.
He gets one-shotted by what is his name? Ray's shoulder charge. Get one-shotted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me spine.
Yeah, but Slaker got one-shotted by... I mean, it's D1. You kind of have...
Yeah, you get one shot a lot.
Yeah.
It's common.
Okay. All right.
That's not a real one.
All right. Diamond Bro Gaming asks another question. Will there ever be more machinimas added into the DMU down the line, which will be in a different time period? Yes, Rift.
Some of mine.
Yeah. Coming.
Some of my one-shots would be like before and after the whole convergence thing.
Maybe after I bow out, somebody can replace me. Things like that.
I'm not sure if Gamma's and Ryan and Aaron's Machinima called Guardians that I'm working on as well is going to be in it.
That's something we have to discuss, If
I'm
they even
upset
want to...
during.
If they even want to be part of it.
If it is, it'll be definitely D1. definitely all before Fireteam Weasel, maybe before Team Titan. But I'm not too sure yet. But
Yeah.
it's up to them.
Right now, we're kind of focused on this like crossover, like our stories kind of meeting up into this final thing right now. So
We're in phase 1.
yeah, exactly. Phase 1.
Iron Man. We're phase 1 Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they are wanted to join, I can think of one character that'll definitely fit into the crossover, but I'm not saying who or what. Arc 1's done. So. It's really done. So I know people have been waiting 2 years, but we're getting there. It's just that we're just working on everything else and just kind of doing this in my own time.
Yeah.
That's all. That's why it's taking so long.
All right. A Cursed Guard asks, why is Scott such a cool character? My response, Scott's trash.
He's okay. He's
He
underrated.
likes Scott.
I don't even know. Who is Scott? What?
Who's Scott?
Honestly, like,
Good God.
no, really, like, I'm
Oh,
Scott.
Enemy
The
now.
only Danish in the whole series.
Danish?
Exactly.
Danish,
Nah.
like a breakfast item? Like a Danish? Oh, okay.
Just no
Oh.
edible.
I like what
Exactly.
you did with characters in season 2. Like, we wanted, more Blue and more Scully and more, Autumn, but we got new characters that turned out to be even, awesomer. So, like,
I don't know if they're awesomer, but they're definitely cool.
they're pretty cool.
I like them.
I like them, so I don't know if I like them more than the original team, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But I
now
do
they're
like-
part of the original team as well, so
Yeah.
it's a nice addition. It was nice to introduce new characters instead of just doing the same thing over.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
why
the
I
great thing
did it.
is now you got two cool teams. Now they're one team, and now they're a team together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want a character who's like Tucker from Red vs. Blue. So I him
Yeah,
and Scott. I
Scott.
think a lot of people like Scott is because he was like a really funny one, but he also had a unfortunate death, which a lot of people were very shocked that happened. But he did come back. But that was a huge plot twist.
Yeah.
That made him even cooler.
So, was Scott the warlock that killed John?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know who Scott is then.
thought.
Huh?
He
I was-
said be gone. Thought.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. I forgot that character's name. Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's all right. Still trash. Okay, so Attack Boss had a slew of some questions here.
Ooh, a salute.
Some of them are for me, really.
Snap.
Which is funny because he works on Team Titan, so I assume he knows the answer to these, but I guess he wants everyone else to know. His first question is, are there plans to go into character histories? Digital can answer that question. Because that's what his next season is basically about. Do you not want to answer that question?
He's thinking. He is.
He's like,
Yeah.
How do I not spoil this?
I mean, it's definitely a lot to more crossover, they're saying, in the next season of Team Titan, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's asking about just character backgrounds.
Yeah, there's definitely
Yeah,
going to be character backgrounds in there, I know. But of who, we'll find out.
That was so vague.
I'll have
Yeah.
flashbacks.
This is for like everyone, not just for Team Titan. He's asking. This is like a general. Will there be backgrounds? You
I
know,
just felt like
Yeah. There'll be flashbacks. I don't. If that's what he means. Like.
like will there be more history about the characters,
Oh, yeah.
like before what they're doing now? Like
Yeah.
you know.
Season 3 for Fireteam Weasel is heavily based off that.
Yeah, mine will have flashbacks, but I won't have like a anthology like season where they go back in their past.
Mine is gonna be more like if it pertains to the plot to know that backstory, then yes. So like for example, in the season finale of Team Titan, there will be some backstory that's shown that Falcon kind of narrates, but it's regarding what's happening in the story at the moment. So, yeah. Actually, that leads into his next question. He asked, will there be anything on Fireteam? He says Avian Fireteam, which we call Fireteam Legend. Before the start of Team Titan, like their early adventures, and any early adventures of Blue and Jacob, and a pre-Siva Erica. So he's kind of like reiterating. He's asking specifically now, will there be any backstory on Fireteam Legend, which is Falcon, Raven, trying to not spoil who I haven't spoiled yet, Hawk, and the others. And then he's asking, will there be anything about Blue and Jacob and pre-Siva Erica?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be see more pre-Steve Erica, and I'll definitely see more about Autumn's past, Blue's past, Jacob's past, Rachel's and Scott's past. Pretty much all the characters past.
It's their past.
Yeah.
I mean, like right at the beginning, but a certain moment which people wanted to see.
That's the good stuff.
Really cool.
And if anyone, well, this is a teaser. In Fireteam Weasel Season 3, one of the backstories will be half Fireteam Weasel character and half a Team Titan character. I'm not saying which character that's going to be, but their stories actually tie in together, and then explains one of my main characters' backstory, which I think is really cool. And actually, Digital wrote that whole episode, and I didn't change anything about it because I thought it was perfect. So I'm really excited to see that play out. Question for me was, will we ever see a pre-Siva Raven? Yes, in the season finale of this season coming up, in the flashback. You will see what Raven looked like before she was Siva-fied. And then he asks, who's the best blade dancer you know? I guess that would be Attack Boss, because he asked the question, and he's a blade dancer. So,
Sure.
I don't know, Erica could be good as well.
uh-oh.
I think
Yuki.
pretty good.
Competition.
She's Arcstrider, doesn't count.
She's Arcstrider, doesn't count.
Close enough.
She's always
Fake arc blade. Not the same.
Pole
Talk
dance.
about
My pole dancer.
in Machinima, because I know a pretty good blade dancer, like in game. He kicked my butt whenever we had private matches.
I used to bleed arc blade on my hunter too.
Ando's a blade dancer as well.
Yeah, Ando's a blade dancer. I like Ando. I wish I could bring him back. Like freaking money.
Alright, last question from Autumn. Who is your favorite character and why is it Autumn?
And why is it?
It's because Autumn is... Actually, like, honestly, in Fireteam Weasel, Autumn is my favorite character, so I actually answered that question honestly. It's because Autumn's a smartass, and, like, he's just so cheeky. It's a cheeky bastard, and I just love that about him. And he's so just, like, about money.
Just
Yeah.
about.
And I just love that about him. He's just like a he's a mercenary, which is exactly why he knows Team Merc and Team Titan. So, I actually really like Autumn. He's one of my favorite parts about.
He fits so well in Forsaken and everything. He was part of it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You have him know the spider already, and it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, like he works for
Real
the spider.
chums. Real chums, old mates.
I would be down to use like the spider as a character, like at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
He does have a mask, so like we can dub over his voice.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. But anyway,
Favorite character of like which series?
just in general, I guess if it's not Autumn, so like you got 1 out of 5 Autumn. You're welcome. I mean, I guess if we're just talking about Fireteam Weasel, you got it. Overall, I don't know who my favorite character would be. That's tough.
That is kind of tough.
I know we
could
are.
say one for every series.
I think Soundwave should answer the question, like, who's your favorite character from each series?
He's a
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
series. There you go.
So, honestly, from Fireteam Weasel, Storm has grown on me a lot. He really has.
Don't you voice Storm Digital?
I don't know what you're on about. What?
Someone asked about relationships brewing earlier. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like I like his development as a character. Like when I first got teaser, I'm like, oh, he's the typical stoic Titan type. That's really cool.
Team Titan.
You see his character change, and then by the end of season 2, it shows how insecure he is about himself and the power he has as a fire team leader. So I Autumn was a favorite, but Storm's quickly kind of, because I mean a Titan. I mean, he's a stoic Titan. That's pretty rad with some emotional issues. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm really liking Dion as well. And From the Ashes, he's just that cool kind of Warlock type. You know, when I think Warlock, Dion is coming forward in my mind. I really like him as a character. He's quickly kind of become my favorite from that series. And it's tough from Team Titan because all the characters are so fruitful, but Slaker's a fool, so I like Slaker. He's an idiot.
It's like the least.
He's an absolute idiot. Like, he's got like some of the least screen time, but from the bit you got, he gets so mad, he gets so distracted, and it's like, hey, you know, I'm gonna distract you till I can kill you, and he's an idiot. He let it happen. So I like it. Oh my god,
He's stupid.
He's stupid.
you know, he tells us, you know, he's gonna build a wall around him and make the traveler pay for it. That.
You know, like fun fact about like Slaker's voice actor is that like he's so busy sometimes that like that line in particular I did. So like when I can't get him, I copy his voice and I do his lines. Plus he has the same filter that Falcon has, so it distorts your voice even more. So actually I do some of his lines when he can't do them. It's so I actually did that line. It was like, shut the hell up, I'll go build a wall around you, make the traveler pay for it. That was me.
Like, honestly,
You are
like,
Nolan North.
I'm like, you know what? You're my favorite. That's it. My absolute favorite.
That's so random. It's like the most random character in the show. It's like,
I know. It's like, who are you gonna pick? Him? That line got me. It absolutely got me.
All right, that is all the questions that we had. Want to thank you guys again for joining me on this podcast. And, of course, before we end the podcast, everybody go ahead and put yourselves over. So, Digital, go ahead. What you want to say?
Hope you guys enjoying Forsaken. I would say season 3 will be starting filming very soon by the end of the year. But it's going to be a lot shorter than the other 2 seasons. But once you see it, you understand. Right now, I'm working with Guardians at the moment, so that's why it's been taking my time. Hopefully, Guardians will be out this year, too.
Tempest?
Okay, shameless plug. Go to my channel. Go ahead, subscribe. Trying to hit to 1,000 a little bit. You know, I'm only 300 away. It's okay.
Catching up, man.
But
I've got 300 fake accounts.
You got 300 fake accounts.
I'm on my way.
We'll get there. But other than that, next episode should be out probably around the time this podcast comes out. Got a lot of exciting things down the line. I'm really excited for the DMU, and I hope y'all enjoying Forsaken.
All right, Soundwave.
Well, I hope I catch you guys on Discord. Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun. You know, getting to come on and chit chat about stuff. It's been great, but I hope to see some fresh faces in Discord.
PS4 faces. I needed my life.
Digital said we have a memes channel. It's a little out of hand. It's a little messy. I need to see some.
I regret
memes
saying
in
that
there.
now.
Yeah.
Shame on you. He said that I'm like getting a notification every 30 seconds. Doot, doot, doot. I'm like, this is out of hand.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you want to help with future machinimas and stuff, and if you want to play a bigger part other than just watching, join and you'll get the opportunity to help out, whether it's body acting, maybe some voice acting roles, you know, have some fun.
Actually,
it's a chill.
The Warlock in Team Titan, the voice actor came from Discord. Did auditions, and the first one, he got it. I was like, that's it. Like, I did the other auditions, but the first guy was, like, spot on what I wanted. So you never know. Well, when we put out a thing for an audition for voice or body acting, you know, you could be a part of one of the shows.
I do want to piggyback on that. We have a separate channel called The Tower for people who are machinima creators, but they're not really ready, or we're not willing to add them to the DMU, but we don't want to overrun their channels. So we have our own separate, you know, thing. So if you're a creator and you're trying to get some body actors, you can use our Discord. We're trying to make this whole Destiny. It's not called Destiny Machinima Universe Discord.
Yeah.
It's just Destiny Machinima.
Yeah.
Really want to get this off the ground so that we're not the only 3 people doing all this work.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories to be told.
Yeah.
It deserves to be told.
It's there for help. It's a tool to be helpful for everybody else. So that's what's transformed to. So come on in, have some fun, enjoy the memes, enjoy the silliness, but get some work done, and maybe you'll get to help out with some projects too.
Yep.
So I want to see people there.
Yep. And for me, everybody, season finale, Teen Titans coming out. I can't say when right now. We did just finish the initial audio voiceover for it. I'm going to edit that. But this episode started out really short, and as kind of like time goes on, I've been adding things to it that I want to kind of wrap up or see. So I can't say right now when the finale is going to come out. Probably next month or two, probably more like 2 months possibly. And then my plan is to go ahead and make season one long movie and to fix and edit things that didn't go right or things that I want to add into it that weren't there initially. So I'm going to like special edition season one, but I promise I won't like George Lucas it up or something like that. Like, like hand shot first. It won't be anything crazy like that. We need more aliens in the background. More Woken everywhere. But definitely want to fix stuff, especially in the earlier episodes where I was like getting my feet. So we'll be fixing that in the full version of season one, and then we'll lead into season two, which I'm going to start writing soon too. So, and also if you guys would like to support the Xeon Remnants channel, go ahead to the Design by Human store. You can buy Team Titan shirts, Team Hunter shirts, Team Warlock shirts to help support my channel, and of course subscribe for future content. And I actually have other non-Destiny related videos ready to come out soon, so anything creative, you guys know, always just goes on the channel. So hope everyone's enjoying Forsaken, and thank you all for watching, and like I always say, Zeke Zion!
Yeah, bye.
Bye.